There are moments when the hardest thing to do is not to act, but to release our grip. We carry so much in our hands. Plans we have carefully made, conversations we keep replaying, decisions we wish we could change, people we love but cannot control. Doors we want opened, doors we fear may close. Questions that have followed us from one day into the next, refusing to be answered. And so in this sacred moment, I bring all of it to you, divine. I come before you with open hands, not because I have everything figured out, but because I know I don't. Not because I understand every turn ahead, but because I need the courage to walk forward without seeing the whole road. Sacred presence, meet me here, meet me in this quiet hour wherever I am. Meet me in the stillness of this morning before the day begins to ask anything of me. Meet me in the evening when the noise finally settles and the thoughts I've held back all day begin to rise. Meet me in the night when the room is dark and my mind is still searching for answers. I turn toward you now. I don't need perfect words. I don't need to pretend that I'm fearless. I don't need to hide my uncertainty or make my faith appear stronger than it feels. I simply come as I am, and I ask you to receive me, source of all that is good and true. Help me enter this moment without rushing away from it. Let me stop trying, for a little while, to solve everything at once. Let me loosen the grip of my mind. Let me set down the need to know exactly how every story will end. Let me remember that life is larger than what I can see from where I stand. There are things I understand, and there are things I don't. There are paths I can choose, and there are outcomes I cannot command. There are words I can speak, and there are words others must choose for themselves. There are doors I can knock upon, and there are doors whose timing is beyond my control. There are seeds I can plant, but I cannot force the garden to bloom by pulling at every leaf. Creator, teach me the sacred difference between responsibility and control. Help me know what belongs in my hands and what belongs in yours. Give me wisdom to act when action is needed, and humility to become still when my striving changes. Nothing. I confess that sometimes I hold too tightly. I hold tightly to plans because they make me feel safe. I hold tightly to expectations because uncertainty frightens me. I hold tightly to people because I fear losing them. I hold tightly to old memories because letting go can feel like admitting that something is over. I hold tightly to my own ideas of how life should unfold, even when those ideas leave no room for surprise, growth or grace, and sometimes divine. I hold tightly to worry itself. I know it sounds strange, but I do. I worry because it feels like preparation. I imagine every possible problem because I want to be ready. I rehearse difficult conversations. Before they happen, I picture everything that could go wrong. I revisit yesterday's mistakes and wonder what I should have done differently. I look ahead toward tomorrow and try to protect myself from a future that hasn't arrived. My mind keeps watch, my heart stays alert, my spirit becomes tired. And yet, after all that worrying, I still cannot control tomorrow. So today, sacred presence, I begin to let go, not all at once, not perfectly, but sincerely. I place before you the things I have been carrying long after they have become too heavy for me. I place before you the outcome I keep trying to force. Place before you the answer I keep demanding. Place before you the person whose choices I cannot make. Place before you the opportunity I fear I may lose. I place before you the disappointment I still don't understand. I place before you the grief that has no simple explanation. I place before you the future that remains hidden. Place before you the part of me that is exhausted from trying to hold everything together. Higher power, I give you my need for certainty. I give you my need to have every detail settled before I can feel peace. I give you my habit of measuring my safety by how much I can predict. I give you the illusion that if I think hard enough, plan carefully enough, and worry long enough, I can guarantee the outcome I cannot, and admitting that doesn't make me weak. It makes me human, so I bring my humanity to you. I bring the fear I don't always talk about. I bring the disappointment I hide behind a smile. I bring the exhaustion that comes from being strong for too long. I bring the questions that remain unanswered. Bring the dreams that haven't happened yet. Bring the doors that didn't open. Bring the relationships that changed. I bring the chapters that ended before I was ready. I bring the parts of my story I would rather rewrite. Great light, hold all of this with me. Teach me that surrender isn't the same as giving up. Teach me that letting go doesn't mean I stop caring. Teach me that trust doesn't mean I never feel afraid. Teach me that faith can exist alongside uncertainty. Teach me that I can move forward without having every answer in advance. I don't want to surrender because I have lost hope. I want to surrender because I am learning where true hope lives. Don't want to release my burdens because they don't matter. I want to release them because I finally understand that carrying them alone is not the only way to love, to live, or to move forward. Holy Spirit of all things, enter the places in me where fear has taken up too much room. Bring a quiet strength that doesn't need to prove itself. Bring a peace that doesn't depend on perfect circumstances. Bring a wisdom that knows when to speak and when to wait. Bring a trust that grows slowly, honestly, and deeply. I ask you to help me trust the unfolding of my life. When I cannot see the next step, give me enough courage for the step that is in front of me. When I don't know what tomorrow holds, help me remain faithful to what is true today. When I am tempted to run ahead in fear, bring me back to this moment. When I am tempted to retreat because I cannot control the outcome, remind me that uncertainty is not the same as danger. When I feel that I must have every answer before I can move, give me the grace to begin with what I know. And when I don't know what to do at all, help me become quiet enough to listen. Divine, I ask for discernment. There are moments when letting go means releasing something that no longer belongs in my life. There are other moments when letting go means releasing my fear about something that still matters deeply. Help me know the difference. Help me not to confuse surrender with avoidance. If there is something I need to do, give me the courage to do it. If there is an apology I need to offer, soften my pride. If there is a conversation I need to have, give me honest and compassionate words. If there is a boundary I need to set, give me clarity without cruelty. If there is a responsibility I need to accept, give me strength without resentment. If there is a step I need to take, help me recognize it. But when I have done what I can do, help me stop reaching beyond my limits. Help me leave room for you, sacred presence. I think of all the things I have tried to control simply because I was afraid. I think of the person waiting for an answer from someone they love. I think of the parent carrying concern for a child they cannot protect from every difficulty. I think of the person waiting to hear whether an opportunity will come through. I think of someone facing a major decision, standing between two possible futures. Think of the one who has worked hard and still doesn't know what comes next. I think of the person who wakes in the middle of the night with a question that has no immediate answer. I think of the heart that is tired of wondering. Meet us there, meet us in the waiting, meet us in the uncertainty. Meet us in the space between what was and what will be. Source, teach us how to wait without becoming bitter. Teach us how to hope without becoming frantic. Teach us how to prepare without becoming consumed by fear. Teach us how to care deeply without believing that everything depends on our ability to control it. We place our lives into your greater wisdom, not as an excuse to become passive, but as an invitation to become present. Not as an escape from responsibility, but as freedom from unnecessary fear. Not as a denial of reality, but as a deeper acceptance of what is. Release the demand to know why every difficult thing happens. Release the belief that every delay means I have been forgotten. I release the fear that every closed door is the end of my story. I release the thought that every disappointment is proof that my life is going in the wrong direction. I release my obsession with comparing my timing to someone else's. I release the pressure to arrive where I think I should already be. I release the shame of not having everything figured out. Creator, let me trust that my life doesn't have to look like anyone else's to be meaningful. Let me trust that a slower season is still a season of life. Let me trust that waiting can hold wisdom. Let me trust that change can carry possibility, even when it first feels like loss. Let me trust that I can be guided one step at a time. Fill me with the courage to release what I cannot control. Let me walk lightly with what I can. Grant us the wisdom to know the difference. Teach me to loosen my grip without losing my heart. Teach me to release my fear without releasing my compassion. Teach me to surrender my expectations without surrendering my hope. There are things I have prayed for that have not happened. There are answers I wanted that did not come when I expected them. There are moments when I have wondered whether you were listening at all. I don't want to hide those questions from you. I bring them honestly. If my trust is small, receive it. If my faith feels fragile, meet me there. If I am uncertain, don't let uncertainty make me turn away. Help me understand that trust isn't always a powerful feeling. Sometimes trust is simply choosing not to give up on the possibility of meaning. Sometimes trust is going to sleep without solving the problem. Sometimes trust is waking up and trying again. Sometimes trust is saying, I don't know, and still believing that I am not alone. Sometimes trust is taking the next right step without knowing where the entire road leads. Sometimes trust is releasing a plan that no longer fits and allowing a new possibility to emerge. Divine, build that kind of trust within me. A trust that is steady rather than dramatic. A trust that remains when circumstances shift. A trust that doesn't require constant signs. A trust that doesn't collapse every time life surprises me. Let my trust become a quiet foundation beneath my days. When good news comes, keep me humble. When disappointment comes, keep me grounded. When plans succeed, keep me grateful. When plans change, keep me open. When I receive what I hoped for, help me remember the source of every blessing. When I don't receive it, help me remain receptive to what I cannot yet see. I ask you to free me from the exhausting belief that I must force my life into existence. There is effort that is holy. There is work that is necessary. There is courage that must be practiced. But there is also a moment when effort becomes strain. There is a moment when preparation becomes obsession. There is a moment when concern becomes fear. There is a moment when planning becomes an attempt to control the uncontrollable. Help me recognize that moment. Help me stop before I lose myself in it. Let me breathe in the knowledge that I am allowed to rest. Let me remember that I am allowed to pause. Let me remember that not every question must be answered tonight. Not every decision must be made this morning. Not every uncertainty must be resolved before I can feel peace. Great Light, I give you the unfinished parts of my life, the unanswered messages, the unresolved conversations, the uncertain plans, the dreams still taking shape, the opportunities still beyond my reach, the relationships I cannot repair by myself, the future I cannot predict. I give you the things I keep checking, refreshing, calculating, and replaying in my mind. I give you the phone I keep looking at. I give you the clock I keep watching. I give you the calendar I keep counting. I give you the question I keep asking. I give you the outcome I keep imagining, and I ask for freedom. Freedom from the constant need to know. Freedom from the pressure to control. Freedom from the belief that worry is a form of protection. Freedom to live this day as it actually is, rather than living inside every possible version of what it might become. Holy Spirit of all things, bring me back to what is real. This moment is real. This breath is real. This opportunity to choose love is real. This chance to be kind is real. This chance to listen is real. This chance to do what I can is real. This chance to place the rest into your hands is real. Help me live here. Help me stop abandoning the present in order to chase certainty about the future. I don't want to miss today's quiet gifts because I am too busy preparing for tomorrow's imagined problems. I don't want to overlook the person beside me because I am thinking about someone who isn't here. I don't want to lose the beauty of this hour because I am demanding guarantees from the next one. Teach me presence through trust. Teach me openness through surrender. Teach me courage through uncertainty. Divine, I ask you to soften the places in me that have become rigid from disappointment. Sometimes I hold on to old plans because I'm afraid to dream differently. Sometimes I keep looking backward because the past feels more certain than the future. Sometimes I would rather remain familiar with my pain than risk the vulnerability of beginning again. Help me release what is finished, not with bitterness, not with denial, not with shame, but with gratitude for what it taught me and openness to what comes next. If something has ended, help me honor its place in my story without forcing it to continue. If someone has walked away, help me release the need to chase what is no longer freely given. If a dream has changed, help me discover what remains alive within me. If a path has closed, help me look around with clear eyes. If I have made a mistake, help me learn without living forever inside the mistake. If I have failed, help me remember that failure is an event, not the complete definition of a life. Creator, I release the version of myself I thought I had to become. I release the timeline I created. I release the expectations I inherited from others. I release the pressure to prove my worth through achievement. I release the need to be admired, understood, approved of, or constantly reassured. I release the belief that my value depends on how much I accomplish or how perfectly I manage my life. Teach me that I can simply be. Teach me that I can receive. Teach me that I can rest. Teach me that I can trust. And when I am called to act, let my action come from wisdom rather than panic. When I am called to wait, let my waiting be filled with quiet confidence rather than despair. When I am called to release, let my hands open without resentment. When I am called to begin again, let me step forward without demanding certainty. Source, I ask for the grace to trust the timing of what I cannot yet understand. I know that timing can be difficult. I know how quickly the mind says, it should have happened by now. I know how easily we compare our lives with others. Someone else seems to have the answer. Someone else seems to have found the path. Someone else seems to be moving forward while we remain in the same place. But I ask you to remind us that we are not seeing the whole story of anyone else's life. We are seeing fragments. We are seeing moments, and our own journey cannot be measured by someone else's clock. Help me release comparison. Help me stop asking whether I am behind. Help me stop treating every delay as evidence that I am failing. Let me trust the pace of my own becoming. Let me grow at the pace that truth requires. Let me heal from old disappointments in the time it takes. Let me learn what I need to learn. Let me become who I am meant to become without rushing the process simply because I feel uncomfortable in the middle. Sacred Presence, I ask you to meet me in the middle. The middle is where so much of life happens. Not at the beginning, when everything feels possible. Not at the end, when everything is clear, but here in the middle of the unanswered question, in the middle of the changing relationship, in the middle of the long journey, in the middle of the uncertain season, in the middle of the dream that has not yet taken form. Be with me here. Help me discover that the middle is not an empty place. There is life here, there is wisdom here, there is growth here, there is grace here. There is something sacred about continuing when the destination is still hidden. Divine, when I feel the urge to force an outcome, remind me to return to you. When I feel the urge to chase what is not mine to chase, remind me to return to you. When I feel the urge to control another person's heart, remind me to return to you. When I feel the urge to replay the past, remind me to return to you. When I feel the urge to predict every possible future, remind me to return to you. Let returning become my refuge, not escape, not denial. Return again and again, back to trust, back to humility, back to the truth that I am not carrying this life alone. Higher power, I ask for strength to release the illusion of control without losing my sense of responsibility. Let me do my part with sincerity. Let me speak when I should speak. Let me work when I should work. Let me prepare when preparation is wise. Let me apologize when I am wrong. Let me forgive when forgiveness is possible. Let me ask for help when I need it. Let me accept support without shame. Let me care for what has been placed in my hands. And then, when I have done what I can, let me release the rest. I don't want to spend my life standing over every seed I plant, demanding that it grow according to my schedule. I don't want to spend every night inspecting the soil of my life to see whether something has changed. Teach me patience, teach me trust, teach me to let life breathe great light. There are people I love, whose paths I cannot walk for them. Help me love them without trying to control them. Help me support them without carrying every choice they make. Help me offer wisdom without demanding that it be followed. Help me release the fear that I must rescue everyone I love from every difficulty. Give me compassion with boundaries. Give me love without possession. Give me concern without constant anxiety. Teach me to trust that every person has a journey that belongs to them, and where I can help, let me help. Where I cannot help, let me release. Where I can listen, let me listen. Where I must step back, give me grace to step back. Divine, I also bring you my own future. I don't know what is waiting. For me, I don't know which opportunities will remain. I don't know which plans will change. Don't know who will enter my life or who will leave it. Don't know what challenges I will face or what unexpected joys may find me. But I don't need to know everything today. I need only enough courage for today, enough wisdom for today, enough patience for today, enough love for today, enough trust for today. So give me today's portion, give me what I need for this moment. And when tomorrow arrives, meet me there. I don't ask to see the whole staircase. I ask for light enough to recognize the next step. Don't ask for a map of every turn. Ask for the wisdom to notice when the path changes. Don't ask for guarantees, I ask for courage. I don't ask to control every outcome. I ask for a heart that remains grounded, whatever the outcome may be. Don't ask to avoid every difficult season. I ask for the strength to walk through difficult seasons without losing myself. I don't ask for a life without uncertainty. I ask for a trust that can live within uncertainty. This is the trust I seek, a trust that says, I can move forward. A trust that says, I can release what I cannot carry. A trust that says, I can be honest about my fear without becoming ruled by it. A trust that says, I can make a wise choice without knowing exactly what follows. A trust that says, I can love without possessing. A trust that says, I can hope without demanding. A trust that says, I can wait without giving up. A trust that says, I can let go and still remain open to life. Sacred presence, let this trust take root in me. Let it become deeper than my moods. Let it become steadier than my circumstances. Let it become stronger than my need for immediate answers. When I am tempted to grasp, teach me to open my hands. When I am tempted to run, teach me to stand. When I am tempted to freeze, teach me to take one small step. When I am tempted to despair, remind me that I am still here, still breathing, still capable of choosing what is good. Fill me with a calm courage, let me move through this life with open hands and a willing heart. Grant us the grace to trust what we cannot see. Grant us the wisdom to release what we cannot change. Grant us the strength to act where we can make a difference. Let me receive this day without demanding that it become something else. Let me receive this season without insisting that it end before I have learned what it came to teach. Let me receive the people around me without trying to rewrite them. Let me receive myself without constantly measuring what I lack. Creator, help me notice the quiet ways I am already supported. the kindness I sometimes overlook, the strength I have already discovered, the lessons I once thought I would never learn, the moments when I thought I couldn't continue, and yet somehow I did, the unexpected help that arrived, the door that closed and later made sense, the path that changed and revealed something I couldn't have imagined, the moments when I didn't understand, but I was still carried forward by something greater than my own certainty. I give thanks for these things. I give thanks not because every part of life is easy, but because even within difficulty, there are moments of grace. I give thanks for the people who remind me that I am not alone. I give thanks for the strength that appears when I need it. I give thanks for the wisdom that grows through experience. I give thanks for the courage that rises after fear. I give thanks for every quiet morning that gives me another beginning. I give thanks for every evening that reminds me I can release the day. I give thanks for every night that teaches me that the world continues turning even when I stop trying to manage it. Divine, thank you for receiving what I cannot carry. Thank you for hearing the words I speak and the words I cannot find. Thank you for meeting me in uncertainty. Thank you for remaining present when I feel distant. Thank you for allowing me to come without pretending. Thank you for teaching me that trust can be renewed. Thank you for reminding me that I don't have to understand everything in order to continue. Today, I choose trust, not perfect trust, not fearless trust, but willing trust. I choose to trust enough to loosen my grip. I choose to trust enough to stop rehearsing every disaster. I choose to trust enough to release the outcome of what I cannot control. I choose to trust enough to take the next step. Choose to trust enough to leave some questions unanswered for now. I choose to trust enough to believe that my life is still unfolding, even when I cannot see how sacred presence. If I forget this tomorrow, remind me again. If fear returns, meet me again. If I begin grasping for control, gently call me back. If I become overwhelmed by what I cannot know, bring me back to what I can do. If I become consumed by the future, return me to the present. If I become trapped in the past, help me step forward. Let trust become a practice of the heart. Let surrender become a daily opening. Let peace become something I return to again and again. I know there may be days when I struggle. There may be mornings when I wake with questions. There may be evenings when uncertainty feels heavy. There may be moments when I wonder whether I have the strength to release what I have carried for so long. On those days, be patient with me. Teach me that letting go can happen in layers, one fear at a time, one expectation at a time, one old story at a time, one breath of courage at a time. Don't need to release everything in one moment. I only need to be willing to open my hands a little more. So I open them now. I release the outcome. I release the timeline. I release the need to know. I release the need to control. I release the fear that I am falling behind. I release the belief that everything depends on me, and I receive what remains. Receive this moment. I receive this day. Receive the chance to begin again. I receive the freedom to do what I can and trust you with what I cannot. Great light, may my hands be open enough to receive what is meant for me and wise enough to release what is not. May my heart remain soft without becoming fragile. May my mind remain clear without demanding certainty. May my spirit remain hopeful without forcing an outcome. May I walk forward without dragging yesterday behind me. May I meet tomorrow without trying to control it in advance. May I live today with enough courage to be present. I pray for every person listening who is carrying an outcome they cannot control. For the one waiting on an answer. For the one afraid of what tomorrow may bring. For the one who is trying to hold a family together. For the one who is beginning again after disappointment. For the one who is releasing a relationship. For the one who is facing a change they didn't choose. For the one who is exhausted from trying to make everything work. For the one who is quietly wondering what happens next. Meet them with your presence. Give them enough peace for this moment. Give them enough courage for the next step. Give them the wisdom to know what is theirs to carry and what they can finally place down. Let no one listening feel ashamed for being uncertain. Let no one feel weak because they are tired. Let no one believe they must have every answer before they can move forward. Remind us all that trust is not the absence of questions. Trust is the decision to keep walking while some questions remain unanswered. Divine, I entrust my life to the greater wisdom that surrounds me. I entrust the things I cannot solve. I entrust the people I cannot control. I entrust the future I cannot predict. I entrust the past I cannot change. I entrust the dreams that are still forming. I entrust the doors that have closed. I entrust the doors that have not yet opened. I entrust the parts of my story I understand and the parts I don't. And I ask you to guide me with a wisdom deeper than fear. When I need to move, guide me. When I need to wait, steady me. When I need to release, strengthen me. When I need to begin again, encourage me. When I need to accept what I cannot change, soften me. When I need to trust, remind me that I am not walking alone. Source, I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know that I don't have to live tomorrow today. I can let tomorrow arrive in its own time. I can meet it when it comes. I can face what is real rather than suffer through every possibility my imagination creates. I can choose trust over endless worry. I can choose openness over rigid expectation. I can choose courage over control. I can choose surrender over exhaustion, and I can begin again whenever I need to. Thank you for this freedom. Thank you for the sacred permission to release. Thank you for the quiet strength that comes when I stop fighting every unknown. Thank you for the peace that grows when I accept that I am part of something larger than myself. Thank you for reminding me that my life is not measured by how tightly I hold on. There is wisdom in holding. There is wisdom in releasing. Teach me both. Teach me when to stay. Teach me when to go. Teach me when to speak. Teach me when to listen. Teach me when to act. Teach me when to wait. Teach me when to carry. Teach me when to set something down. And in all these things, keep my heart close to what is sacred. Holy Spirit of all things, let me leave this prayer changed in one simple way. Let me trust a little more than I did before. Let me breathe a little easier. Let me hold today's responsibilities without carrying tomorrow's burdens. Let me walk with open hands. Let me remember that I can care deeply and still release control. I can love deeply and still trust another person's journey. I can work faithfully and still surrender the result. I can hope deeply and still accept uncertainty. I can dream boldly and still remain open to a different path. I can be afraid and still move forward. I can be uncertain and still trust. This is the freedom I ask for. This is the peace I seek. Not a life where everything goes according to my plans, but a heart that remains steady when plans change. Not a future where nothing unexpected happens, but a spirit willing to meet the unexpected with courage. Not a world I can control, but a life I can live with honesty, humility, and trust. Divine, I place my open hands before you. I have carried enough for today. I have worried enough for today. I have tried to solve enough for today. Now I release. I release the question that has no answer tonight. I release the outcome that is beyond my reach. I release the person whose choices belong to them. I release the past that cannot be rewritten. I release the future that has not yet arrived. I release the demand that everything makes sense immediately. And I trust that I can take the next step when it becomes clear. I trust that wisdom can meet me in the moment I need it. I trust that I can learn as I go. I trust that uncertainty does not erase possibility. I trust that surrender does not mean I am abandoned. I trust that letting go can make room for something I cannot yet see. I trust that I don't have to hold the whole world in my hands. Sacred presence, receive my fear, receive my hope, receive my questions, receive my plans, receive my disappointments, receive my dreams, receive all that I am able to release today, and where I am not yet able to let go, meet me with patience. I don't need to condemn myself for still holding on. I simply ask for the willingness to loosen my grip. A little today, a little tomorrow, until one day I discover that what once felt impossible to release is no longer controlling my heart. Let that day come in its own time. Let this trust deepen in its own way. Let my life unfold without my constant interference, and let me recognize the difference between surrender and surrendering my purpose. I still have work to do. I still have love to give. I still have choices to make. I still have responsibilities to honor. But I don't have to carry the illusion that everything depends on me. I am allowed to be human. I am allowed to be uncertain. I am allowed to need guidance. I am allowed to rest. And I am allowed to trust. Creator, as I leave this sacred moment, let trust walk with me. Let it walk beside me into the ordinary hours, into the unanswered email, into the difficult conversation, into the waiting room of uncertainty, into the morning commute, into the quiet kitchen, into the office, into the bedroom where I finally lay down the day. Let trust meet me there. When my mind starts reaching for control, let me remember these open hands. When fear asks me to predict everything, let me remember that I only need to meet the moment before me. When I am tempted to believe that my future depends entirely on one outcome, let me remember that life is wider than one door. When I feel lost, let me remember that not seeing the whole path does not mean there is no path. When I feel alone, let me remember that the sacred is near. And when I forget all of this, let me begin again, with humility, with courage, with an open heart, with open hands. Great Light, I am grateful. Grateful for the chance to release. Grateful for the courage to trust. Grateful for the wisdom to discern. Grateful for the strength to continue. Grateful for every moment that teaches me I don't have to control everything to be safe within my own spirit. Grateful for the unknown possibilities that still surround my life. Grateful for the chapters I haven't read. Grateful for the paths I haven't walked. Grateful for the surprises I cannot predict. Grateful for the mystery that reminds me life is larger than my plans. I don't need to know what comes next to be grateful for what is here now. I don't need to understand every answer to honor the questions. I don't need to see the destination to take the next step. I don't need to control the whole journey to walk it faithfully. So I choose to let go, and I choose to trust. I let go of what I cannot carry. I trust what I cannot yet see. I let go of the outcome. I trust the wisdom that guides me. I let go of the timeline. I trust the unfolding. I let go of the need for certainty. I trust the next step. I let go of fear's demand that I know everything. I trust that I can meet life as it comes. Divine, keep me close to this truth. Let my surrender be an act of courage. Let my trust be an act of love. Let my open hands be a sign that I am ready to receive, ready to release, and ready to walk forward. May I no longer confuse control with safety. May I no longer confuse worry with preparation. May I no longer confuse uncertainty with failure. May I no longer believe that I must carry every burden simply because I can see it. Give me the wisdom to set down what was never mine to hold. Give me the courage to carry what truly belongs to me. Give me the peace to know the difference. And now, sacred presence, I place this day before you. I place my life before you. Place my future before you. I place the people I love before you. I place the questions I cannot answer before you. I place the outcomes I cannot control before you. I place my open hands before you. May I walk from this prayer with less weight in my heart. May I walk with greater trust in my steps. May I stop demanding that tomorrow explain itself today. May I allow life to unfold without constantly pulling at its edges. May I remember that. Sometimes the most faithful thing I can do is release my grip and keep my heart open. Bless the one who is learning to let go. Bless the one who is waiting. Bless the one who is afraid. Bless the one who is beginning again. Bless the one who doesn't know what comes next. May their heart find courage without needing certainty. May their hands become open without becoming empty. May their spirit remain hopeful without forcing the future. May they discover, one quiet moment at a time, that trust can carry what control never could. And when the road ahead is hidden, may they not mistake the darkness for the absence of guidance. May they take the next step. They trust the next breath. May they release the next burden. May they walk gently into what they cannot yet see. Divine, I give you what I cannot hold. I trust you with what I cannot know. And I walk forward with open hands, knowing I do not have to control the whole journey, to be at peace with the road beneath my feet.